Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Zeno here, and this is my YouTube voice. With that said, I'm going to be playing Elementalist. I thought about playing a lot of different builds. In fact, I think the top 5 builds right now are Juggernaut, I think is #1 tip top. Can't deny him. Occultist / Trickster, I'm just going to put them together because a Trickster becomes Occultist if you play Heretic's Veil with Cosprey's Will. Okay, so one of the same, all right, and then you can do anything else with Trickster, so I think they're like equally tied for second. We'll call them the twins. Third place I put Guardian because he got buffed. Why did Guardian get buffed? I don't know. He did. Next I would go with Necromancer. Necromancer is disgustingly strong. And then last I would say Champion, Gladiator, Deadeye are all insane. Assassin's good in his own right. Like everybody else is just like Hierophant. Easily Hierophant. There you go. Hierophant. Top 5. In any order you want to put them, that's how I would rank them. Even though #2 is tied for the same damn thing. So I guess technically top 6. I'm playing Elementalist. Elementalist has been rated, quote, the worst ascendancy buff out of all of them. However, I think she's quite... yeah, she's decent. She is decent. There is 2 different ways in which you could play this build. I will call one way softcore / decent, and the other one I will call decent / hardcore. What I mean by that is softcore is faster, deeps, but you're going to die, potentially. Doomsayer gets Doom. Basically don't suck if you play one way. The other way is you will have little tanks helping you out. You're immune to reflect maps. You could go a little bit more reserved. So either of which you're going to be basing the build around the middle here. Mastermind of Discord is your Cruel Labyrinth, which makes Pendulum of Destruction your normal Labyrinth. So Pendulum of Destruction, let's talk about this node. So gaining 75% increased area of effect for 5 seconds, and then you gain 75% increased elemental damage for 5 seconds. So it is like a pendulum where it swings back and forth. 5 seconds of this, 5 seconds of this, back and forth. So you either get AoE or you get damage, both of which are amazing. Obviously, damage is better for single target, AoE is better for clear, but sometimes you might need that extra elemental damage fighting a essence mob, so hey, not too bad. And sometimes you really need that AoE because on a boss there's a lot of adds, so it'll work. It will always work. That's a lot of damage and a lot of AoE. Hi, Sebastian. Are you having a good day, Sebastian? Are you happy right now? I'm glad you're happy. May I go back to making builds? Is that okay? Alright, thank you. So with that said, we're going to take a look at the minor nodes leading up to it. So it's cast speed and LE damage and attack speed. So Wanders. And same thing here. Wanders, bows, anything like that. You can be creative with this. Hi, Sebi. Mastermind of Discord. So I will be wearing Herald of Ash. Herald of Ash received a buff. It now gives a more fire spell damage multiplier, similar to how Wrath gives a % lightning more spell damage multiplier. Except in this instance, my Heralds have 25% reduced mana reservation. That's huge. So if I can actually put on Herald of Thunder with this, and potentially Herald of Ice, I can get all 3 pen. Doesn't really matter. But the extra damage to Flameblast will be good because if you are playing the soft core way, as I say, you are actually going to go Shaper and Beacon of Ruin. So this is the Prolif version. You do get all 3 of them eventually at one time, but you could chill, shock, or ignite. You're probably going to use Chance to Ignite Gem because it gives so much freaking damage to Flameblast. And with that said, you can have Beacon of Ruin to spread your shocks. And now your shocks have a minimum of 20%. Which means against bosses, you are guaranteed a 1.2 multiplier to both your upfront damage and yes, even your meme-tastic Ignite. Savvy, are you memeing on me because I said Ignite? Psst. Okay. I'll pet you again. Mowgli, I hear you over there. So, I'm actually thinking about leveling up like this. So, it's decent in hardcore in terms of survivability. Porcupines are going to wreck you. You're going to need to find a way to get Fortify. You're going to have to be tanky in your own right. So, I was thinking if I play this, I'm going to go some kind of really, really strong staff and go movement speed. I've learned something recently that most people have not figured out, and that's how charge dash functions. Yes, it is not a good clear skill. It's a decent clear skill. It's a decent cast when channeling, but what it's best at is a movement skill. It scales with movement speed. Because it scales with movement speed, you don't need to use attack speed modifiers. So I use cast when channeling and phase run with it as well. So as I'm channeling it, I'm getting phase run, and with duration or something else, duration boots, elder boots, you're good to go, man. Like it's not bad. And you can attach fortify to that. So you just dash in and then you can flame blast. So that is one way I'm thinking about getting what's it called? A fortify. You need fortify. You can always go scepter, you can always go shield charge. I think shield charge is incredibly good if you are shaping specific maps in which it benefits shield charge. But sometimes the game isn't just that. I play hardcore, and sometimes you're stuck running Torture Chamber. And Torture Chamber with shield charge is torture. Seriously. Right, Sebi? See, he agrees. So this is probably how I'm going to go, considering I need Uber Lab for this. So I've never ever bought Uber Lab.
Welcome, adventurer, to the stream. Just remember,
Oscar, we got a sub.
But more importantly,
Sebi, we got a sub.
Group, there's only open bananas, never closed circles.
Well, thank you very much, Chewy the Goon, for subbing with your Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. If you don't mind, I'm going to go back to my YouTubing. So thanks, Chewy the Goon. Alright, so we get 25 Fire Pen. Herald of Ash gives a multiplier to damage. It also gives burning damage, and will spread that. And we have Prolif naturally for our Herald of Ash now. So Herald of Ash gets Prolif. Flameblast gets Prolif. We're going to go Ignite Chance. And we're going to be able to Shock, Ignite, and Chill on top of Herald of Ash's Prolif. So this node not only gives Prolif to your Flameblast, it gives Prolif to your Herald of Ash, which changes everything. Having double dipping on that, and the radius is 12 opposed to the gem. Unless they finally buffed it, the gem is usually like never. You're losing a multiplier. The only way you can reasonably make Prolif happen is if you really, really have... You would have to have some crazy multipliers on gear, or play the new Trickster, I guess, or something. Rip. Rip Chewy. Oh, he's spamming the Oscar emote. Nightmod did not like that. Enjoy your 5-second timeout, Kappa. I mean, I'm not even kidding. He subbed. He wanted to use his Oscar emotes, and then Nightbot said, "What the hell's your problem?" But he came back. There's another Oscar. True story. At one point in time, I had more Oscars than Leonardo DiCaprio. But not anymore, I don't think. No, we're at least tied, or he has more. He probably has more. It's Leonardo. Alright, so Elementals. How are we going to play in this build? So we can go CI? Nope, we're going to go Mind Over Matter, I think. So Pledge of Hands is out. Honestly, if we go Staves, Pledge of Hands is out because Spell Echo doesn't work with Flame Blast, but you do need cast speed. So cast speed is pretty damn important for this skill. So let's plan out a Mind Over Matter build. AoE, yes. Flask effect, we'd go Wise Oak, Roomies. Could I do Mind Over Matter Acro? I've pulled that off before. It's a pure physical spell. It's Glacial Cascade. I wonder if I could do it in pure fire. I don't think so. How about strength? Can I do anything with strength? Because strength gives us a bunch of good stuff. Alright, he's gone. Alright. So I think non-crit is better because I have all sorts of prolifs. So I'm going to go EO. Come down here. Yep. Reduce reflect damage taken. These are minor. I want to get that now. Increased skill effect duration. It's not bad. Makes it so my ignites definitely kill. Let's consider it. We'll pick it up for now. Curses? No, I'm not going to go curse. Curses got killed. Okay, 25 attributes does nothing for this build. Mana regen does something. 5 pen does something. A melee AoE does nothing. Base crit, we're not going crit. So pure talent is out. The tree did not change at all. In fact, I have something I wanted to share with everybody. You know what? I think this is time, because if we're doing a long theorycraft session, we should add a nice image here. So let's go here. I'm going to name this image Wolverine. That's it. That's the name of this image. So let me just find it right quick. There we go. We'll just put him right here. Now, I don't want anybody to get upset here, because we don't get upsetty spaghetti in this stream. Instead, we just think like Wolverine. What would Wolverine do? That's how we feel about the new passive skill tree. Alright. Let's keep looking up here. Go down here. AoE. Yeah, we'll pick up regen. Yeah, no pure talent's nice, because then we don't have to spec it. Sure, jewels are still busted. So if we're going non-crit and we're depending on shock and ignite, fire damage is really, really strong, but then we don't use all of the heralds. So if we go pure fire scaling, we don't use heralds. What would my gems be and what would my chest piece be? Let's look up gear before I decide the rest of my tree. That is like a good outline. Let's actually whip out the freaking Bible here. And by Bible, I mean the wiki. Alright, we're going with unique staves PoE. We'll start with that. And make sure I can see my chat. For anybody wondering, if you haven't figured out by now, I stream these. So if you want to come by and check out my live streams, we could talk and chat. That's what people have been saying. Self-cast or pizza sticks? Who plays totems? Honestly. Kappa. I don't play totem builds. I prefer to not automate. My automation is buffs. I don't like other sources of damage unless it's traps, because traps are a true beast to be messed with. The other idea I have is a Saboteur Ice Trapper, so we will theory that out tonight too. I'm just going to start with my Elementalist right now though. And you guys are going to probably help me decide which one I pick. I have a couple of them. One is a special shield throw build too, so that's either a Deadeye or a Champion, or even, a Deadeye or a Gladiator. Gladiator's pretty damn good. Let's take a look here at our staves. Never pizza sticks. No thank you. Alright, so Realmender is great for leveling, but the problem with Realmender is Cold to Fire does nothing, Fire and Cold, meh. Elemental damage is okay. The upgrade to this, the +4 is huge. +4 to gems is just absurd. Getting a +3 fire is still technically better, but let's just keep looking. It's not bad to level with Realm Shaper though. You only get +3 with Realmender because it's +1 to fire and cold, and then +2 to LE. So this is like Discharge. Discharge would benefit to the +4. It's tagged fire, cold, and lightning. Flameblast is just fire. So even this is pretty mediocre. It's not bad though. Level 18, this is huge. So I'm going to set up a bunch of whoops if we were to play this build. Whatever your build is that you're going to play, set up all your whoops. All right, let's look at Searing Touch. Is absurd. You can never go wrong with Searing Touch for Flameblast. It's so basic, but keep it simple, stupid. That's honestly video games at this point in time. It's a great freaking cheapie. People sell these things for minimal. And the burning damage is fine because I have both Herald of Ash and I have Conflux and Prolif. Yeah, self-cast Discharge days, dude. Well, you can actually... Do you know the new Juggernaut? I'm not going to do this. We're live streaming and I'm recording for YouTube, so I'm not gonna go down that Discharge route with Juggernaut, but it works now. I will just say that. These are all Fizz. This is all Lightning. Terran Shear is Cold. Dusk Dawn. We're not going crit. You have to sell 2 things, I think, to make that. Not sure. I've not done that thing yet. Pledge is out too because Spell Echo doesn't work with Flameblast. So for staves, we're looking pretty not that good. So let's look at unique scepters. I'm not even going to touch Doriani's. I mean, Doriani's is level 75 first off, and that requires Uber Dan to find one. So let's see what we have here for unique scepters. We can go Clay Shaper, man. It's actually not bad for leveling. Let's see. Minion life, physical damage. So you can dual wield. You can put on one of these and then pick up the golem nodes. That'd be pretty strong for leveling, but that's another build. Not good for Flameblast. It's too unique. So the other idea I had with this build is, depending on gear 2, you can either cut this and go like this, or you can do this and go like this, or like that. So running Herald of Ash is really strong with the Prolif. Like, absurdly strong, because you could double dip with it. It's not bad at all. And you still get some Fire Pen, and your shocks get 1.2 multiplied, which means your Herald of Ash overkill is multiplied by 1.2. And you're prolifing the Flameblast Ignite as well, which is multiplied by 1.2. So this seems like the highest theoretical deeps, including for bosses too, because Pen, and then better, a guaranteed 1.2 shock. This guy allows you to be tankier because your elemental golems are immune to elemental damage, which means they're just freaking orbitals. If you've ever played Binding of Isaac, your golems are now chaotic orbitals, and if you give them movement speed, they just absorb spells, like some stupid skeleton with powerful crits that's going to shock you, and then you take a slam afterward. You know, the freak accidents. Oh, you get hit by DD? Well, don't worry about it. You know, actually, no, DD will still screw you because that's area of effect. But, hey, it stops projectiles. These things are like orbitals. So, you can go like that, and that's really strong for hardcore. It is an uncalculable amount of damage reduction. It is all dependent on scenario, but sometimes that scenario is really, really clutch. It's like something completely outside the box. If you go Cloak of Flame with Paragon of Calamity, you take damage as fire because physical is converted to fire when you take it, and then you get extra fire damage whenever you receive a hit, which is great for Flame Blast. Exactly. But the problem is Cloak of Flame pretty much stinks, so you would need some other way to pull off that shenanigan. This works well with Lightning Coil as a spellcaster, a lightning spellcaster. You could pull that one off. I was thinking about if you were to actually play Shimmerons, not as sticks, you would pick up Paragon of Calamity and you would wear Lightning Coil, and then you would just pick up, and then you'd wear Purity of Lightning. So physical damage is taken as lightning. The extra damage you receive from Shimmeron would be reduced heavily, and then you get a ton extra lightning damage. It's not bad, and you take even less lightning damage because you're receiving lightning damage. And you get Ellie Leech back. I was thinking you could do that with Shimmerons. How strong would crit be if I were to pick this up? If I were to go Shimmerons, instead of playing Beacon of Ruin, so I don't have Prolif anymore, could I use Prolif Gem in the Herald of Ash? Because it is 25% reduced mana reserve. Huh. Stormfire Ring does not have HP. It's alright, so the principles I'm working with in Path of Exile for me is boots need a minimum of 25% movement speed if you're going charge dash or even just anything. You need movement speed. You could say Combs Roots all you want. You still need movement speed. You can go Whirling Blades, you can do shield charge, but seriously, movement speed is the strongest stat in the game. So if I'm going to sacrifice life, boots need 25% movement speed, and you need to get like something crazy like +1 curse would be good, the new Wind Screams, but I probably wouldn't wear that still. The sacrifice has to be worth it. Facebreaker, now you can play unarmed, you know. Abysses, like damage overload. It's something, it has to be juicy. If it's not juicy, I'm so disinterested. Minimum 35% movement speed. Have you ever owned one of those? If not, you can't say that. I mean, you can, but I'll call your bluff forever. Alright, Liege of Primordial. So, 25% increased effect of buffs granted by your golems for each summon golem. So, that means with 2 golems, this naturally will make it so golems give 1.5 times their normal effectiveness. So, we would go Lightning Golem, and we would go Fire Golem, obviously. Flame Golem will double dip on the damage. And you get 25% increased damage for each summon golem, which is really strong. What is this one? Increased golem damage for each golem you have summoned. So this is officially Golemancr, and then you're immune to all ailments for each one you have. +1 Golem. So this one's great for casters and Golemancer. This one's great for Golem, or Elemancer, I suppose. So how good would Flameblast be? Yeah, if you go this node, I can't play Flameblast at all. I'm pure Clay Shaper at that point. I think Herald of Ash with Beacon of Ruin is disgusting, but I love the defenses behind Liege of Primordial. I think it's so strong. These little orbitals that just run around and block spells for you. A boss is using a move and it just eats it because they're immune to it. But only your Elemental Golem. So Stone and Chaos are still very good to be used. In fact, you can use one of all 5 elements as an Elementalist, and you'd be pretty damn strong. We'll call it the Power Ranger build. One of every Golem. I would love to see that. Paragon of Calamity. This one's hard to squeeze into a build because Conflux is... Honestly, I think this node is better than Conflux in every way. However, this node carries Conflux hard. That new shock duration, or minimum shock, is crazy. And it has increased effect of non-damaging ailments, which means that it can easily get to 1.2 and then still multiply it up. That's Unbound Ailments strong. It gives you default Unbound Ailments. Captain Planet build. Well said. Oh, you do own a Peril, then I stand corrected. Do you think Spectral Throw would be a weak starter? I think Spectral Throw is the most viable skill in the game. If you ever wonder if a weapon will function properly, test it with Spectral Throw, which is one of the most neutral. It's 5 out of 10. It's like decent. You can make it better than that, but every single weapon can work with Spectral Throw, honestly. Any melee weapon with Spectral Throw, you can make it work. It is not difficult to make that skill function. Alright, let's see. Oscar, do you feel good over there? You chilling? Man, I can't wait for these wikis to be updated. It's like the thing I look forward to most. So, Doriani's is like the only scepter. Wands are terrible. Wands you can't get Fortify. That's the worst thing about Wanders, no Fortify. And if you're playing a Wander, you want to be ranged. You don't want to even be near melee. Alright, let's take a look at Wands. That'd be... If we're playing Elementalists, might as well play Wands, right? God, here we go. Here we go. This is the Alice in Wonderland right now. Surely there'll be a good one. Shimmeron, there it is. Gosh, we're not playing Shimmeron. Everything is crit, pretty much. There's no good non-crit wands. That's pretty good to know, honestly. So staves. I think I'm stuck to staves, maybe? What other unique daggers? We're not going crit unless I get a block dagger. Ugh. Dagger I can wear shield. I'm not crafting a block dagger. That just sounds so miserable. Actually, there's a unique dagger PoE. Let's see. I don't want to play crit. I'm going to force myself to play non-crit Elementalist. Because she's awful. According to everybody. At least on public forums with a voice that is upsetty spaghetti, to be specific. Alright, this is all attacks. This is Volconus. So, daggers, it's always Divinarius if you're playing AoE. Huh. So, keep it simple, stupid. There it is. Cost-wise, we're going to use Searing Touch. I'm recording this right now, yeah. So, Searing Touch plus 2 Fire Gems. We could try getting something higher, but I think this is fine. Just a ton of damage. Herald of Ash now. Let me see if I can find a Herald of Ash. Twitter, Path of Exile. They put Herald of Ash on here so we can look that up. Ah, yeah. Alright. Let's see. Herald of Ash. Gain. Alright, we don't care about that. 15% increased fire damage. Oh, I know where we go. Reddit. Path of... Please, no more memes. Where's the general catch-all everything? Plus bestiary. Okay, good. Okay, we are looking up Herald of Ash. There we go. Reddit actually has it pretty good. So, 15% increased fire damage at max quality, 38% more burning damage, which I've heard works for everything. I'm not sure. That is a rumor. Can anybody eliminate that rumor? Has GGG confirmed? Does this more burn damage only apply to the Herald of Ash's debuff? Or does it apply to every type of burn damage? Yeah, man. Freaking phone. %99 sure it's local. Well, if it is local to Herald of Ash, it's still very strong because I have Prolif as an Elementalist. Regardless of it's something. Surely, I would assume it's local because that is a massive amount of burning damage. GGG's wording, as always, GGG's wording. This is why whenever before patch notes and everything associated with changes, I'm always just like, why the healthcare boxers? Like, honestly? No. Like, I have never once Googled anything boxer related. And this is a clean computer. I do not do any of the special stuff on the computer. This is my work computer. I have a phone. Duh. With that said, let's keep going. 12% more spell fire damage is absurd, especially as an Elementalist. So, Elementalist gets, right here, 25% increased effective heralds. This is 2020. So, 12. I think that 12 is static. I think the more damage goes up. 12 seems like a nice solid number that they would keep static at all levels. I don't see why not. It's kind of like Wrath. So 1.25. So it's now 15% more spell fire damage at max level. That's great. That's 3% more damage to that node. And what's its reservation? 25% to 25 of 25. So 25 what is it, times 0.75. So now it's 18 points. So still, does it chomp off the 7.5 in this case? Or is it still going to be 19? I'm not sure how GGG works with this. Usually I thought it just takes off decimal. The game forces round down. Could be wrong. It's 18 or 19. So we'll see. That's not bad at all. So that still allows me to use Anger. I can still use Anger, which you need. Because Ignite... Hello, Oscar. Ignite. Path of Exile. Oscar, can you not... I just put these on. They just came out of the dryer. That's why you want to do this. Oscar. Why? He's purring. Okay, buddy. Okay, I gotta go. Can I talk about Ignite? First Sebi, now Oscar. Sebastian, Oscar, where's Mogs? He'll be next. Ignite is an elemental ailment associated with fire that causes the affected target to take burning damage. Mechanics. A hit of damage that has a chance to ignite is capable of inflicting Ignite. Critical strikes inherently do it by 100%. By default, only fire damage is able to inflict Ignite, but equipment and elemental conflux, which we are. We are elemental conflux. Resistance modifiers like penetration does not affect Ignite. So Fire Pen does nothing now, which we knew since 3.0, I believe. The base duration of Ignite is 4 seconds. The burning damage over time is 40% of the base damage of the hit of fire damage per second. Therefore, over the base duration, the target will take 160% of the spell damage dealt. So Flameblast is naturally the best for igniting. And this is like some of the most simple, basic, standard Path of Exile build that I'm doing. This is like simple as simple gets. Any new player can understand this build by holding right click. Here is Flameblast, PoE. If you're fairly new to Path of Exile, this is where I explain the function of this gem. So first off, Flameblast, you get it at level 28, so you have to get to Act 3. So if you haven't made to Act 3, you have something to do now, and you have something to look forward to, because when you equip this, you will easily get to Act 10. This skill has been nerfed so many times, and it's still at the point of the game where it does ridiculous damage, and that's okay. Like, we've accepted it. It has one major downside: mana cost. So it is 9 mana cost. However, it's a channeling skill. You hold right click, and as you're holding right click, this thing gets bigger. And this thing that gets bigger it's your Flameblast. It's this ring that goes pop. And when you let go of right click, it pops. It was never channeling before, so they changed the function of the gem, which means you can use cast when channeling Firestorm within it. And if you're using cast when channeling Firestorm, which is the big of this build, you're picking up increased duration for your Herald of Ash, the Ignite to last longer. You're picking up the increased duration for your Ignite, your Shock, your Chill to last longer. And now you're picking up duration to make your Firestorm last longer, because you can use cast when channeling. And here's the big thing. Because Firestorm is guaranteed to get a 1.2 shock. A little tiny thing falls from the sky. If I have Conflux of Shock on, they are now shocked. Doesn't matter how little the hit. It is a minimum of 1.2. So Firestorm will proc the shock, and then the Flameblast will go smack them right in the face. So that's how I'm going to allow the Flameblast to always have that extra Ignite for clearing packs. And again, after I hit that pack, whatever's left is going to be affected by the burn from Herald of Ash with the Ignite of Flameblast at the same exact time. So Flameblast is the hardest hitting fire skill to the best of my knowledge in this game. So therefore, by that logic, because Ignite is 160% of the fire damage dealt, Flameblast will work best for this, and will have the highest overkill for Herald of Ash as well. And both of which will be proliferated. And then the little tiny shocks from Firestorm with all that duration will also be proliferated. That is my build. I hope you guys like it. I really don't know how far I'm going to go in terms of crit, non-crit. I'm assuming non-crit is the best because I'm going to need HP. I don't have very much defenses. Let's think about that. Yep. So look, if you read this skill right here, Jester Poppy, Conflux says this is a 14-second sequence. So for 4 seconds you chill. No matter what damage type you are dealing, you are chilling. All of your skills will automatically chill. And then for the next 4 seconds, all of your skills will automatically shock. For the next 4 seconds, all of your skills will automatically ignite. And then eventually, for 2 seconds, you get all 3 of them at once. Meaning your skills will shock, chill, and ignite for those 2 seconds. So sometimes RNG happens. And because of that, I have 6 seconds of shock time and 6 seconds of chill time. Ignite I will probably have nearly 100% of the time, because I will use Chance to Ignite Gem or some other instance in order to get Ignite. Some kind of cheese, flammability. And then this guy right here, Beacon of Ruin, proliferates. So proliferation is if there is a corpse remaining or somebody is still alive, whatever ailment they are affected by is chained to all nearby people, depending on your area of effect. So the base radius is 12, which means it's pretty high. Normal radius is like 9 to 10. Like 9 is like melee range nearly. So the bigger the base radius, the more area of effect does, because it could scale bigger. If the radius is this, you know, it can maybe get to here. But if the radius is this, it can get to here, because it scales exponentially. So with that said, I have area of effect here from Pendulum of Destruction, which applies to my proliferation. This is, again, something your little calculators online won't tell you. This is just understanding mechanics in the game. So if my Firestorm pops during my Flameblast channel, and I have Ignite, if I have Chill or Shock up, I'm guaranteed a 1.2 effective shock instantly. Even though if it's a little tiny ball. Yeah, the ball can wreck a white mob, and it could spread and ignite. I'll get overkill damage with Herald of Ash. It's supposed to be a degen scaling off of shock that is applied by minor hits that is then blown up by a massive hit. So it's out of the box. I don't know how else I could really play Elementalist. Like, to really pull off a non-crit caster, I would have to abuse DOT and find a way to get permanent uptime of shock. And that's the only way I can really think of doing Flameblast. Self-cast will also work. You could just do that, but I think cast when channeling Firestorm will really, really help against bosses. As soon as you're starting up against that boss, you're charging up your 10 stack, you have Firestorms falling, you let it go, and then that Firestorm is, you know, maybe the boss moves or something, you could just start up a new chain. So it's, I don't know, it's contained destruction. The hardest thing about this build is getting the Uber Lab. No, Flameblast is great against Azaro, no problem. It's finding the damn, there's 6 instances you have to find to access Uber Labyrinth, and I think that really needs to be adjusted. It's not fun, man. It's like, it's free game, no bitching, but at the same time, it's like, this is a big time sink, people. Alright, we're gonna go with this. This routing is better across the board. We want mind over matter. Should I get more reservation? Do I need more reservation? I'm going to use Praxis for leveling. The reason you use Praxis, so because this is 9 times 10, it's like 90 mana, you go 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Oh, wow. I'm suddenly German. With that said, Praxis is going to help us out. Praxis is -8 to total mana cost, and it's a level 22 ring, so you can purchase this before Flameblast is even accessible. Try to buy a high roll. These things are like 1 alch to 3 chaos, honestly, so this will make it so Flameblast is now a 1 mana cost, and I'm pretty sure you can out-regen 10 mana. So Praxis is one of the strongest leveling rings for this, and it's great for Mind Over Matter because it's 85 flat mana on the high end. You get flat mana regen. Damage taken is regenerated as mana. This thing will carry you for Flameblast until you can't play it anymore. Let me turn off the Oscar cam. He's not here anymore. Oh, shoot. You guys can't see this. Wolverine? Wolverine, get out of here. I apologize, YouTube. No Oscar image. Where is Wolverine? He's up here. Wolverine just baited us. Sorry about that. So 85 mana, 6 mana regen per second, -8 to total mana cost. Whoops. And 8% of the damage taken is gained as mana. This is really, really strong. An Elrond ring is nothing compared to Praxis. Getting a decent Elrond ring can't touch this. Just slap this on, you're good till maps. You're good until like level 75 when you finally skirt off your mana because you're playing Mind Over Matter. Best in slot neck for this build. Leveling is probably going to be a series foible. And then after that, it's probably a series foible with +1 cursor, max res, Kappa. Like, any non-crit Mind Over Matter build, I'm like, oh, it's series foible. Easily. No problem. And just keep corrupting until you get something good, and then you never have to replace your neck again. And you take off Praxis eventually. Seriously, foible is so strong for its level and its cost. So we're going to go... I don't know if I'll go staves, because I would like HP. Should I just craft a freaking block dagger and suck it up? Maybe. Alright, is this part worth it up here? Let's see my pathing. +1 curse. What is my setup going to be? So Anger, Herald of Ash, for sure. If I go mana reservation, I might be able to put on flammability, but I could go self-cast flammability because I hate myself. We can do that for bosses or something. Yep, this is a Flameblast Ignite. This is actually cast when channeling Flameblast Firestorm Elementalist. The Firestorm will deal damage to kill out most of the mobs. You don't have to chant up a full Flameblast either. And they will also apply the Shock and Chill because it's automatically 1.2. So that's how the Firestorm will work. And then the Flameblast will be affected by that shock. And then Herald of Ash now gets buffed. So we get more burn damage from Herald of Ash and more fire spell damage. The burn damage only applies to the HOA. We're fairly certain here. And you get 25 fire pen. And then you prolif the Herald of Ash overkills. You prolif the Ignite. And you prolif the Shock and Chill as well. And on top of all of that, Pendulum of Destruction gives you AoE to everything. Yep, we're going old school with this. And then I pick up some duration here too to help out with it. For my 2 prolifs and for my Firestorm. Alright, is it worth it to go to Shadow Tree? Shadow Tree has no life. Okay. I could say, could I play Righteous Fire? I don't want to make this an RF build. Once you put on Righteous Fire, it's officially an RF build. Let's all be honest with ourselves. Yes, I could pick this up and go life-based RF Elementalist, and it'd be cool and edgy, but no. Let's just... Okay, so we can pick up this then. We go this way. Maybe that mana node. I'll take out the mana node for now. It's not that good. Let's see. Ignite duration on enemies is good. Burning damage is good because Herald of Ash and Ignite. Ignite chance, burning damage, ignite chance, burning damage. Okay, I'm going to pick this up. That is fine. I have 2 sources of burn. Is it better for me to go here over here? No. Wise Oak, hybrid flask, mana. I'm going to go a hybrid hollowed that removes bleed. It'll be a catalyzed hybrid hollow. That means I'll use for my flasks. I'll have Wise Oak, 100% roomies. Catalyzed, and then we could go Quartz of Warding. Can I go damage regen flask? I am standing still. Consecrated Ground's pretty strong. Quicksilver's OP. So Adrenaline, Quicksilver, Quartz Warding, Wise Oak, Rumi's Concoction, Catalyzed, Hollowed Flask of Staunching. That's my setup. Then I go Charge Dash with a Staff, or I find a way to incorporate a shield with Doriani's Catalyst. The age-old Doriani's Catalyst. Okay, what is my HP with 97 points? 161, so this is weak. This is really strong. This is not bad, but everything around it is just garbage. Unless I pick up this Jewel and we're playing the Abyss game again. If I get base fire damage, if I actually could pick up base fire damage, which is the damage effectiveness of Flameblast? I have not even checked that. 50%. But it's okay because it's multiplied by 10. You get 10 stacks at 50%. It's 500%. Every bit of fire damage you get is 500%. God, Flameblast is mad. Alright, let's see my mana percent. The standard 78. Okay, so we need more life, more mana, and probably more damage. I have about another 20 points I can goof with. By this point, I'm level... I don't know. Let's see, you get 20... I don't know how many points... This is like early maps. This is really early maps. So this is how my outline will look in early maps. I went to Templar because HP and a lot of cast speed in AoE. It just makes sense to go Templar. I could spec into here. This is 5 pen, but pen doesn't help ignite. I don't want the burning. This is really worth it. That whole wheel is worth it. I don't want to incorporate crit because then I could shoot myself in the foot. So the next thing I have to ask myself is, do I want to play the offensive game and find a way to make fire good? Because the scepter I can use, we can go Iron Will. So I could go the age-old tanky tank. There's always money in the strength bucket. Just kick the strength bucket again. So we could do that setup. I wouldn't mind trying that again. How would I make this better? Alright. So we have this. It's okay. Blood magic is not good. Wait a minute. Less mana reserve. That's not good. Blood magic would be... Wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute. If I wear Essence Worm, and I put Anger in Essence Worm, and I have 50% less mana reserved, and I have 25% reduced, so this is now 12.5%. Oh shit. Reduced and then multiplier. I could just go Essence Worm, Anger, Herald of Ash on health. It won't cost that much. I don't need Mind Over Matter. I don't have to freaking mess around with any mana either. No Praxis, no Serious Foil. We just go strength and HP. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Shit just got real. How do I make this not suck? Oh, man. So, we are Chieftain now. Think Chieftain, but as Elementalist. Because Elementalist could... Alright. Alright. This is worth it. Maybe. Patch notes simulator, dude. Patch notes online. Thank you for tuning into my stream. This is Path of Patch Notes. I can't stand picking up this wheel. It's just so... It lives up to its name. Tireless. Tireless. Alright, we get 123. So... Could I do this and then take points out of somewhere else? Yeah, we could take points out of this. I still want this. This is still worth it. This is worth it. We don't need this. This is still HP. It's still worth it. Let's sack the HP entirely. And unless I need the mana, it's not worth it. And plus I get Pendulum of Destruction anyways. Alright, now we're looking a little bit more clean here. So now we go Dune Kubiari. Oh shit. Oh shit. Please, Dune might triple dip us. Oh please. Global damage. Increased damage per 8 strength when in mayhem. This is global damage. This will apply to my Herald of Ash. This will apply to my Ignite. This will apply to my direct damage from Flameblast. We're good. We are good. Triple dips. That is solid. So now the gen just... Okay. Iron Will gives spell damage. So what could we put in there that gives us spell damage? And a 3-link. Arcane Surge setup, maybe? No, my Arcane Surge has to be in a 4/5 link. With Blood Magic. We haven't had a triple dip in a hot minute. You're going to follow along with this build? It's out there. It's out there. So, Praxis for leveling. You have to go Praxis for leveling. Hear me out on this. Buy this ring. I don't know how much it goes for at the start of this new ring. This new league, but generally speaking, this item is nothing. Standard League's not a good indication, but even on permanent hardcore, let's see how much Praxis goes for. So this is assuming most of the items up here are people who want to play Path of Exile. So Praxis, 25 Chaos feels bad. 1 Exalt, 1 Exalt. Okay, some of that it cannot be true. Okay, this is permanent hardcore. I can never trust this economy because that is like... That place means something. Let's check permanent standard. This is like nothing. Alk. Alright, let's click total mana cost. Ready? 8. 1.5x. Damn. Some of those might be legacy. But there are definitely alks up there. It's hard to compare in permanent leagues. But you get my gist. It's a cheapie. You could probably get this for like 3 to 5 chaos. Maybe at the beginning of the league it'll be worth that much. There's an ALK, there's an X. You know, it's permanent leagues. Somebody posted it a long time ago and they forgot about it. Or maybe it got nerfed. It doesn't look like it got nerfed. So anyways, with that said, start off with this guy, go Blood Magic, switch to Dune Kubiari. And then you use Iron Will. So Iron Will is an interesting gem. So with Dune Kubiari, we get increased damage for every 8 strength you have. And now Iron Will... strength's damage bonus applies to spell damage as well for sported skills. So, TLDR, the strength, 10 strength normally gives 2% increased melee damage. This now makes it give it 2% increased spell damage per 10 strength. And then with Dune Kubiari, you get 1% increased damage per 8 strength, except this is global. This is not spell, which means it will affect my Ignite and my Herald of Ash burn, which are both Prolif again. We always have that shock. So let's see. We are Flameblast, Cast When Channeling, Firestorm, Iron Will. That's good. Control Destruction. Yeah. And then, no, Control Destruction doesn't scale everything. Let's see Chance to Ignite. So we have 4 in there. Faster casting's not bad, but I am cast when channeling, so it does have a cap. But it's great for bossing. You need cast speed regardless. So it gives me 49% chance to ignite, which is Prolif, and 29% more fire damage. So this actually does work for my ignite. Supported skills deal 29% more fire damage. Fire damage is a multiplier that affects ignite. So this does double dip on both the Flameblast damage and the ignite damage. Iron Will gloves are bad, no life. And they have like a 300 int requirement too, which I should be able to achieve as a witch. So that double dips as well. So chance to ignite, Iron Will, cast when channeling, Firestorm. What would be the last one? Let's think of like just a meaty multiplier. I'm not going to use faster casting. We can get cast speed everywhere. Like, would it not control destruction? Fire pen? I still would probably have to go fire pen for bosses. Penetration no longer affects bosses, so... I mean, no longer affects ignite, but pen still wrecks bosses. LA Focus, yeah, but no, why would we go LA Focus, dude? We actually want to apply Ignite and Shock and chill. LA Focus means we don't. If we went LA Focus, this node and this node are absolutely useless. They won't do anything. These nodes will be void. Null. Nothing. Like, literally nothing. So no LA Focus. You almost had me, though. I was like, yeah, damage. Wait a minute. We're playing an Ignite build. Yep, this is the case in point why I don't use Path of Building, because LA Focus gives you extra damage, guys, but then you don't ignite. No, we're not. Efficacy's okay. Fire Pen. I think Fire Pen is the... Because Firestorm and Flameblast still benefit massively from the Fire Pen. It's still really, really strong to have. Ignite is the meme. Fire Pen and Flameblast are the carry. Ignite is like, well, it works because it works for the other two. So Fire Pen is the winner. In fact, I'll use Fire Pen before Chance to Ignite or Iron Will. Yeah, Iron Will's our 6-link, actually. Iron Will is our 6-link. Because the beginning of this build is all Metacaster. I will probably start Mind Over Matter, Praxis, Itsuri's Foible, and then I'll swap to Blood Magic, Doom Kubiari, Iron Will. That's the yin and yang to the build. Start mana because you're near mana, and then swap to Strength. Because Strength gives you HP and it's busted. And you get some fire damage and regen, life, and then you get this. So that's how we close out the build right there. What else do we have to take points out of? Tireless? Tired of Tireless? What is my... 267%. What's my strength? 300. We won't... maybe I don't use Iron Will. Yeah, maybe I could squeeze it in. We'll see how it works. I could probably yield about 1,000 strength in this. Comb's Heart with a staff. If I go... Shoot. If I go Searing Touch with Comb's Heart in this build, I'll be mad. Holy hell. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Searing Touch, Comb's Heart, Elementalist. That's the be-all, end-all. Searing Touch, 6-link. And then all the plus to fire gems. So Chance to Ignite, Fire Pen, Firestorm, Flameblast. And then Cast when Channeling doesn't get it. Iron Will doesn't get it. That's fine. So 4 out of 6 ain't bad. And then you get fire damage from Combs with 500 health. And you have Blood Magic. So Blood Magic is... With Combs, Heart, this much strength, and 267% life, this character will probably do... I have all damage on the tree. All damage. There's not one thing here that is survivability. So we go survivability late game. And we have extra damage right here. If I can't go Combs, I'll just pick up a really, really meaty chest until I can go Combs. I don't dislike Path of Building. I've never been there. I can't dislike what I've never seen. I play the neutral game, my friend, Lady Lisa. I can't hate something that I'm unaware of. Excuse me, I'm aware of its existence, and that's about it. My opinions of Path of Building are Wolverine. Yay. With that said, I think that's my build. I hope you guys like the build. YouTube, Twitch, cheers. And this wraps up my first potential build of the league, and this is Elementalist. We started with the most strong ascendancy, in my personal opinion. And by strong, I mean strong-armed, because everyone hates her. Why you gotta hate, man? She's juicy. I mean, she's probably the crazy girl, but she needs love too. No hate. She's the controlled destruction. That's all I have to say. I'm out.